Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers, and esteemed guests, welcome to the Innovating for a Sustainable Future, the Power of Technology at the Tech Applied Summit. My name is Kylie, and I'm delighted to be your MC for this exciting afternoon. Today, we'll explore the transformative role technology plays in fostering a sustainable future through 3 engaging panel discussions. Ensuring trustworthiness in generative AI, challenges and solutions. Our first panel will address the critical importance for trust in generative AI. We'll examine challenges we face and discuss innovative solutions to establish a reliable and ethical framework. Unlocking potential, the role of deep tech in smart solutions. In our second discussion, we'll explore how deep tech is unlocking new possibilities for smart solutions, enhancing our daily lives while contributing to sustainability. Empowering tomorrow, the synergy of IoT and AI. Finally, we'll delve into the powerful synergy between the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, highlighting how their collaboration can empower us to tackle future challenges. We're excited to have an impressive lineup of panelists who will share their insights and expertise during these discussions. Without further ado, let's kick off our first panel discussion, Ensuring Trustworthiness in Generative AI, Challenges and Solutions. Please join me in welcoming our esteemed panelists to the stage. We are delighted to have Dr. Alan Cheung, Chief Director of Artificial Intelligence and Trust Technologies, ASTRI, as our panel chair for this session. Joining him as panelists are Mr. Donald Mack, Deputy Commissioner, Data Governance, Digital Policy Office, HKSAR Government. Ms. Ada Chung, Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data. Mr. Fred Xu, National Technology Officer, Microsoft Hong Kong. And Professor Helen Meng, Patrick Hui-Wing Ming Professor of Systems Engineering and Engineering Management, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. I will now pass the floor to Dr. Cheung.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our panel discussion today on ensuring trustworthiness in generative AI challenges and solutions. My name is Alan, and I'm the Chief Director in ASTRI, specializing in AI and trust technologies development. Today, we have an esteemed panel of experts from the government, academia, and also the commercial sector who will share the insights on this critical topic. Generative AI has been advancing so rapidly over the past 2 years, revolutionizing various domains with its unprecedented capabilities. And many places, including Hong Kong, have seen significant adoption of this technology by both the public and the private sectors. ASTRI also has been in the forefront, assisting numerous organizations in their R&D and implementation efforts. The rapid growth highlights the increasing trend and importance of this technology. However, we are also aware of many challenges that come with using this generative AI. Today, we will explore these challenges and potential solutions with our distinguished guests. And before we begin, let me once again introduce our panelists, Mr. Donald Mack from the DPO, Ms. Ada Chung from Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data, Fred Xu from Microsoft, and Professor Helen Meng from CUHK, and also the Director of Center for Perceptual and Interactive Intelligence. So to start, we'll discuss the current stage of AI deployment. May I start with Mr. Donald Mack? So Donald, we have seen governments of many countries are driving very hard in AI adoption. So how does the Digital Policy Office support AI transformation and deployment in various government departments? What is the current status and achievement so far?
First of all, I would like to mention that the Digital Policy Office has all along been driving the adoption of technology, including AI, by government departments in order to perform digital transformation. for enhancing their services as well as the efficiency. Actually, back in 2019, we already started the use of AI chatbots. We implemented 2 chatbots. One is called Bonnie. The other one is a chatbot from the 1823 hotline services. Both chatbots are just to make use of the AI technology to answer some public inquiries. For example, the Bonnie will answer public inquiries about which government forms is responsible for application of which services. And for the 1823 chatbot is about answering some commonly questions that may be asked by the public in terms of the public services. And then in 2020, we implemented a central facility called the Big Data Analytics Platform, equipped it with some AI tools and compute, so that government departments can make use of the platform to develop their AI and big data applications. And riding on the platform in 2021, we collaborate with the Transport Department to implement a system called the Traffic Data Analytics System by making use of AI algorithm like machine learning and big data to analyze some, for example, the real-time estimated arrival of public transport to recalculate or generate the traffic pattern and the traffic flow information. And all this information after the AI algorithm are also shared through the open data portal so as to facilitate further innovations by using this kind of data. And in around 2022 to 2023, we started to develop some common modules and service. For example, the chatbot as a service, so that government departments can make use of these common modules to develop their chatbots quickly. And also, we implemented a common module called the Computer Vision Hub, by making use of AI tools to, for example, to recognize some image, pictures, videos, and so on, so as to identify, for example, some patterns and so on. And actually, the Intellectual Property Department has made use of this Computer Vision Hub modules to develop some applications to recognize, for example, some submitted trademarks, to make sure that there's no overlapping with the existing trademarks. And because of the emergence of the generative AI technology recently, we are also collaborating with the Hong Kong Generative AI Center to and engage them to develop a co-pilot applications for use within the government departments. And hopefully we can make use of these tools to facilitate the government staff to perform some word processing tasks like, for example, some editing of documents, summarizations, translation, and so on. And apart from all these, which are basically some initiative by our departments, we are also through the Smart Government Innovation Lab platform to connect government departments with the industry organizations or some market players, so that they can, based on the use case or the pain points of government departments, to offer some market solutions for them, including AI solutions. So with all these, we hopefully set a scene that government is pushing ahead on the use of AI to enhance our services.
Yeah, we're glad to see more and more government departments are adopting these good technologies. So next question, I move to Fred. Fred, DeepSeek is very popular these days. So what is your current worldwide view of AI development, and how does Microsoft promote and drive the AI adoption in different sectors, including government, large enterprises, and SMEs?
Thanks for the question. I know it's coming. So let me get to DeepSeek later on. I think let me share with you what Microsoft's role in this AI era. I think we believe the AI will be the key component to support our future economic growth as well as societal development. So it's a really key element. So our role is actually bring this technology for every organization or people around the world to actually enable them to use the technology to support their development of this technology. I think that's our role. So that's why we continue to build infrastructure like a cloud data center with AI capabilities. So organizations in Hong Kong, whether government, non-government, enterprise, SME, or even consumer are able to leverage this technology to support your specific needs, right? So that's our role. So AI will become, I would say, like a utility, like power, like to support our future economic goal. So that's our role. So go back to what we have done with AI. So I think the good thing is I'm sure everybody using Microsoft Copilot, which is an AI for consumer who can access to this like a ChatGPT type of kind of like a dialogue. So that's at least something we actually offer a free of charge to everybody. So for developer, you actually are able to leverage the cloud infrastructure we built around the world. Actually, Microsoft investing over $80 billion to actually continue to build more data center or more AI-enabled AI-powered data center around the world to support this needs. So, and go back to your question about DeepSeek. So everybody know we have a partnership with OpenAI, and that's actually make me very, very busy for the last like 26 months or so to actually share with you what we have done with OpenAI, how we actually embrace OpenAI technology into our product so everybody can use it. At the same time, we not just OpenAI is just one of the model, or if you like, it's like it's a closed source model that like other closed source model. It's really powerful frontier model, of course. But we also support a lot of open source model. So if you're, I hope they are developers, okay? So everybody talk to ASTRI, they are key developers. They actually develop application using Gen AI, using large language model. Many developers using open source model. So like a Llama or like other like a common like open source model. So DeepSeek is actually an open source model. It's available on Hugging Face. We actually support almost every open source model, including DeepSeek, in Microsoft Azure platform. It's one of the 1,826 open models that we support. So if you're already developing application using large language model, whether it's OpenAI, Mistral, or other Llama, you're able to access DeepSeek. Like R1, I'm not talking about R1, not talking about V2, V3, it's the most powerful one. So you can actually leverage that. So how we actually support that? So everyone can actually download like a DeepSeek R1 from open source, right? But we actually build another layer of support, which is to help the developer to not just access this serverless API, we also help you test the model. How accurate is it? How you actually detect cybersecurity threat? How you actually remove this inappropriate content, concealed. All these kind of things actually built into a platform. You can actually compare DeepSeek R3 with OpenAI, with Llama, which was more safe, which was more accurate, which might give you more resolution, before you decide what to launch. So we actually done a lot of things. So I'll stop here, but I think the bottom line is we embrace open source, we embrace like DeepSeek, we embrace this into our platform so developer in this room can feel very comfortable to access and use that to develop your specific Gen AI application.
Thank you, Fred. I think you can continue for 2 days discussing this topic.
Of course.
But let's move on to Professor Meng and look into the local community. So, Professor Meng, how does your research outcome help the local community in adopting AI, particularly the new generative AI? And what is your view of the current R&D development in Hong Kong?
Thank you, Alan, for the questions. So we actually do a lot. One of the projects that I have been working on is sponsored by the Hong Kong Jockey Club. It is named AI for the Future. So we actually started working on a curriculum for pre-tertiary students back in 2019. And that is because by 2018 at the Chinese University, we have already finished the work in rolling out the first AI major undergraduate degree program in Hong Kong. So 2019, we started writing. To us, it's a challenge because we want to educate our young generation, younger students, pre-tertiary students on AI. And not only that, we hope that such a curriculum can endow our students with the understanding of the mechanisms underlying a lot of the AI technologies, with a heavy dose of ethical principles of AI and responsible AI. And indeed, I should also credit Microsoft, because when we were writing that curriculum, we also refer our students to some of the content that Microsoft has produced in AI ethics. So in education, we have been working on this curriculum, and I'm very happy to report that the Education Bureau, our Education Bureau, has announced that all the local secondary schools, as of this academic year, 2024 onwards, will be teaching our curriculum, the abridged version of the junior secondary AI curriculum, across Hong Kong's local secondary schools. And we are already, in fact, we have pretty much finished the upper secondary curriculum, so we're paving the way for all our students in being empowered by AI, right? So that's for our young generation. For our older population, older adult population, at Chinese University, we have been awarded the first theme-based research project on AI in 2019. And in fact, in that project, we develop speech and language analytics, speech and language analysis technologies to assess cognitive health and screen for potential cognitive decline, which may reflect some early cases of dementia. So we have been working on this since 2019, and right now, the technologies are integrated into a system, and the systems are being piloted in the Professor Charles Kao truck. I don't know if you have seen that truck, but it used to circle all around Hong Kong, and it actually serves the purpose of public health education for our population. Right now, the truck, we've parked it at Chinese University, and we still have participants, 65 plus, who want to come in and have a chat with our AI. And as a result of that, in fact, we have some degree of screening and a cognitive functioning assessment based on this conversation. So that is also being piloted. I must also say that wearing the hat of our COHK AI Inno Center, the Center for Perceptual and Interactive Intelligence, we have been developing different kinds of technologies, such as AI surveillance for looking at a lot of surveillance footage, looking for events that need immediate attention for smart city management, such as road blockage or flooding, etc. We also have been supporting our Hong Kong's elite athletes in major games, such as the Asian Games and also the Olympics recently, in the table tennis games, because we do video analytics to help game tactics formulation. So our technologies have been helping with Hong Kong's elite sports teams. Let's see, what else? We've also been supporting our government. We have teamed up with RTHK. So in 2024, our Financial Secretary's budget speech, as well as our Chief Executive's policy address, we have been using our technologies to automatically transcribe the speeches and summarize the key points, which become the subtitles that you see when you are watching RTHK channel 32 while those speeches are being delivered. So we actually have been doing a lot. I'm going to stop here so that we don't monopolize on the time.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
impressive, Professor Mong. So we all heard about the powerfulness of AI, and we understand that. But next, we'll probably talk about some of the challenge and how do we manage that. I think we all have been using ChatGPT or Copilot or similar. There are maybe sometimes occasional hallucination, maybe even harmful content, or sometimes we worry about privacy and safety issues. So next, I would like to talk about some of the related policy or guideline. The question I would ask Ada, we know that PCPD periodically publish and promotes privacy and data protection materials. So how does PCPD support trustworthy AI developments, and especially with the new AI blueprints? And what are the primary privacy concerns associated with generative AI, and what are the guidelines provided by your office?
Thank you for that question, Alan. We have been supporting the development of trustworthy AI all along. I would say in various directions. First one of which is compliance facilitation. In this area, the PCPD has published different kinds of guidelines on the ethical use and development of AI. For example, we published the guideline on the ethical development and use of AI back in 2021, and we published another guidance last year, which is called the Model Data Protection, Personal Data Protection Framework for AI. And I believe that all these guidelines will help organizations to understand and also comply with the requirements of the privacy ordinance. If we are talking about the privacy risks or personal data privacy risks associated with the use of AI, to name a few, I would say they include data breaches, excessive use of data, data accuracy, and also the proper use of data. For data breach, for example, I think many of you will recall that back in March 2023, the year before, it was widely reported that there was a data breach incident relating to ChatGPT, in which the conversation titles of users were leaked, including the names of users and parts of their credit card numbers and their email addresses. So with all these large language models, given the huge amount of data involved, data breach is always a problem and is a potential risk to users. And the other risk which I would like to mention is the excessive use of, excessive collection of data. For all these large language models, they need a huge amount of data. And it was reported that for ChatGPT, OpenAI scrapped 300 billion words online in order to train ChatGPT. And so the question for us as regulators is very obvious. Is there excessive collection of data? And is this in breach of the privacy law, given that the privacy law is actually very similar all around the world? So with all this in mind, we have been issuing the guidelines in Hong Kong in order to provide users and organizations with a ready reference and also guidance in the development and use of AI. Other than that, we also carried out compliance checks to ensure the safe use of AI. For last year, we carried out compliance checks on 28 organizations to understand how they collect, use, and process personal data in the use and development of AI. And I'm very happy to say that in our compliance checks, we found that there was no major non-compliance with the requirements of the privacy ordinance. On top of that, the PCPD, my office, also organized and collaborate with other organizations in organizing a number of webinars, conferences, and workshops in order to promote or raise the public's awareness about the risks brought by the use and development of AI. And I hope that assists the whole AI ecosystem.
Yeah. Welcome to check out the guidelines provided by the PCPD. So next question, I will move to Adorno. So given all the concern and challenges, how can we ensure the newer generative AI system are developed ethically, deployed ethically, and can you also share with us any recent policy initiative that aim at enhancing the trustworthiness of generative AI systems?
Thanks for the question. And apart from promoting the use of AI within the government departments, the Digital Policy Office has been very mindful about the need of ethical and responsible AI. Back in 2021, we developed the ethical AI framework with a view to providing guidance and also some practices, best practices for reference by government departments when developing their AI and big data applications. The ethical AI framework consists of 4 major components. The first one is about the 12 ethical AI principles, for example, such as fairness, human oversight, data privacy, and safety, just to name a few. And also the framework also consists of a AI application impact assessment checklist, so that government departments can actually make use of the tools to make assessment, to assess the risk level of their planned AI applications, so as to develop measures and practices to for better AI governance and to mitigate the AI risks. And as the third component is about the AI governance structure, which is basically consists of 3 lines of defense, comprising, for example, the project team, the project assurance team, and also the project steering committee. And in some certain cases, for example, the AI risk is really high, we encourage government departments to engage, to form a so-called an IT board, and even engage external consultants or experts to sit in the board to make sure that the project is on track and the measures is sufficient enough to mitigate the risk. And the fourth component, or the last component, is about the AI practice guide, to define a set of best practices to assist bureaus and departments in the planning, development, and implementing AI projects and services. And after the development of the ethical AI framework, we believe that this framework will also be useful for other organizations or the public in general. So in 2022, we also share our framework with the public by publishing it on our website for references. And in view of the development of the generative AI, we also add a new annex in 2023 about to provide clear guidelines about the use or the concerns when bureaus and departments are planning to use technologies like generative AI. And recently, we also engaged the Hong Kong Generative AI Center to help to formulate guidelines and practices on using generative AI technologies. And after completion of their guidelines, we will also incorporate into our ethical AI framework to further enhance the framework, so that our government departments as well as the public can make use of it for a better references. And apart from these general guidelines and principles, we also the government has also developed some sector-specific guidelines, for example, to address some sector-specific concerns. For example, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has developed its own set of guidelines about the use of AI and also the generative AI.
Glad to see different government departments are providing different guidelines, not only for the government departments, but I hope like when SME, startups, different enterprise, also have the look of this guideline, which may help you develop better, trustworthy AI system. So next, I would like to ask Fred again. Besides from the government, what industry standards or best practice does Microsoft follow to ensure the trustworthiness of the AI products? And how do these align with Hong Kong's latest AI policy? Also, with the newer rivals are providing different open sources to be used, such as DeepSeek. Could this mark the beginning of a new trend? And are there any concerns such as safety or security?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think the AI, like responsible AI, right? I think the terms, I probably will be the first one to talk about that back, well, 6 years ago. So Microsoft been very advocate on this, like what we call AI ethic, responsible best practice, because we, most of the technology Microsoft offer to market already have some sort of AI component built in, right? So we've been developing like well before ChatGPT, we already have AI service like computer vision, translation, all this kind of technology already embraced or embed, if you like, into our product. So when we deliver or provide this service to our customer around the world, including Hong Kong, whether it's consumer, government, or enterprise, we'll make sure this technology really abide to certain kind of ethical standard. So I mean, we actually, that was back in about 2016, we recognized the importance of that. So when Microsoft, we actually form our internal, I say, governance structure. We call ethical AI office, and we eventually we have like a responsible AI office around the world. We actually publish our like a best practice, like a AI principle, including those I serve Helen on this AI for future work. So we already have this like I would say groundwork already developed, and we already have infrastructure or governance structure actually support this thing. So when this like Gen AI become a big thing about 2 years when this OpenAI announced that, we realized it's more important to kind of like fine tune, if you like, this practice to align with this risk, if you like, might get into this like large language model. So there are some international standards. There are also some like internal Microsoft practice. We actually openly share what we do to mitigate the risk of this large language model in all our publication, including online. So in terms of international standard, we actually comply to those like NIST AI risk management framework. For those who are still scratching your head which framework to use, that's one actually already available. There's also some international ISO standard, 43,000 for example, and also we observe certain like I would say government regulation or guideline or policy, including the AI Edge in China and in EU or in US. We also work with organizations like PCPD or academia to actually give them some advice or comment, if you like, on how we actually should manage or put into the policy into this framework. So that's what we do. So I think we're very comfortable when we have so much experience. So if you don't know what to do, just go to Microsoft website, look at what we have done. We can actually replicate what we have done. And from open source, like you bring up this open source, will become a big thing. If you look at the model category or model catalog in Microsoft AI Surface, I think primarily of them are open source, right? So there are also, I wouldn't say open source bad or good, but there are always limitations to any model. Some are more powerful in doing this, not as powerful in that. If you look at the industry of the response to like a DeepSeek, there are some risks. I mean, scoring there you can actually compare. So what we as a vendor, when support, we embrace open source, closed source, or any AI model. We want to do a little bit more to make sure our customer, including ASTRI or you guys here, when you use this technology, you're comfortable. We let you know how to mitigate the risk, how to measure the risk, how to actually manage the risk, right? So we give you tools. Actually, most of these tools are AI tools, by the way, like content filtering, prompt ingestion detection, this kind of thing, already built in. So when you deploy this open source technology, despite they were safe or not safe, you still can add on your layer of detection or protection to ensure this technology is safe to use. Okay, if you don't have use it, let us know. We can actually give you a workshop on that. So this is our role to ensure the technology that you use are applicable, are safe, and comply to regulation or policy that the government or your organization require. That's what our role.
Thank you, Fred. So next we will talk a little bit more about our collaboration. As you can see, we have guests from different sector and organization. We understand in the healthy INT ecosystem, it needs the collaboration of different parties. For example, ASTRI also have continuous listening to the pain points from different industry in order to have R&D to solve the problem. So next question I would like to address to Professor Meng. How can interdisciplinary approaches enhance the trustworthiness of generative AI system? And what role does Hong Kong academic community play in this?
Thank you. Excellent question. At Chinese University, we've actually been pushing on interdisciplinary research for AI ethics, AI safety, and responsible AI. So if you think about it, we talk about ethical framework, right? Ethical framework of AI. So that's a difficult topic because we're thinking about the principles like how do you tell good from bad, do you tell right from wrong, fair versus unfair, bias versus unbiased, truth versus fiction, or fact versus fiction. Some of those may be hard, and some of those are need expertise outside of, well, I'm from the Faculty of Engineering, so I work on technologies, but we also need the expertise from other disciplines, such as from our Faculty of Law, from Faculty of Social Science, also from philosophy, or even psychology, and cultural, the cultural aspect in terms of our values, right? So therefore, when we talk about AI, responsible AI, AI safety, ethical principles in AI, we need to bring all those kinds of different disciplines into the picture when we move forward. So to give you an example, recently in my team, we published a paper which is on purple teaming, right? If you think about a system, red teaming means a red team will try to discover the vulnerabilities of the system. And a blue team will try to defend, right? Once you know where the vulnerabilities are, you want the blue team to defend, to strengthen the defense of the system. So in purple teaming, we're trying to bring together the red team and the blue team in our technologies. So we want to discover the vulnerabilities, and then we want to reinforce the system, and we bring the two together. That's why it's purple teaming. And on top of that, while we are working on the technologies, we want to work on theory-guided language models, meaning we want the theories, the values, the principles to guide the language models in generative AI. And if you talk about the theories, they can come from the different disciplines that I mentioned, right? In philosophy, in culture, legal, etc. So that's why I think it's essential for us to look at trustworthy AI as an interdisciplinary topic. Yeah.
Thank you. So next question for Ada. So how does PCPD work with different industry to better understand this technology versus privacy data protection, and how would it empower organization even with fewer resources such that they can still do ethical AI implementation?
Thank you for this question. We entirely agree that collaboration is key to move forward, because I do believe that collaboration with the industry and also other regulators would help us to understand the entire ecosystem better. And we collaborate with other organizations in organizing conferences, seminars, workshops. Last year, we also collaborated with, we collaborated with ASTRI in organizing a webinar on our AI model framework. And also last year, we collaborated with the Hong Kong Productivity Council in carrying out a survey on AI security. And in that survey, we tried to we try to send out a questionnaire to organizations, and we ask them how do they incorporate the use of AI in the organization, and in a way for us to understand how the organization collect, use personal data in the adoption of AI, and also about their security measures, and also the organization's AI governance structure. And with that, we published a survey report, which I believe will facilitate everyone in the community, in the IT sector, and for other regulators to understand the market better. On top of that, we also collaborate with other organizations in holding discussion forums and having meetings with them to discuss the development at the end. For example, the IT industry, the AI developers, key industry players such as Microsoft, ASTRI. We always have meetings with them from time to time to discuss their major projects and how PCPD can collaborate or support them. So I think to move forward is very important for organizations in the area and all the key players to collaborate and join hands in order to support the development and safe use of AI.
So there are many startups, SME are working on newer generative AI development in Hong Kong. So besides all the guidelines that PCPD or DPO are providing, so last question I would like to ask Donald, how does the DPO or the Hong Kong SAR government supporting this organization in doing this future technology in R&D?
The government recognized the rapid revolution of AI technology as well as its potential. So we strive to support the R&D of AI in various fronts. First of all, I think most of you will agree with me that computation power is very essential in the AI R&D area. So in order to address the growing demand of computation power requirement from the research institution and organizations, the Cyberport has launched the AI Supercomputing Center by the end of last year. Right now is already providing a computation power of around 1,300 petaflops, and it will gradually be increased to around, at the level of around 3,000 petaflops, so as to address the growing demand of the R&D institute and the university and also other organizations in terms of the AI R&D needs. And also to further accelerate the AI R&D, we also allocated $3 billion for an AI subsidy scheme, so as to sponsor organizations to use the computation power of the AISC. And another initiative is that is also about promoting the R&D of AI in Hong Kong is the Hong Kong initiative. The government has allocated around $10 billion to set up 2 research clusters, namely the Health at Hong Kong and the AR at Hong Kong. To drive the AI and robotics innovations, we have established 16 research clusters under the AIR at Hong Kong platform to bring together top global talents to enhance the cutting-edge research, technology transfer, and also the practical applications of AI. And through the innovation, through the Hong Kong platform, the government has also funded the establishment of the Hong Kong Generative AI Center to focus on R&Ds about the generative AI technology.
Thank you. So to wrap it up, today I would like to ask Professor Mong and also Fred for the last minute advice, since you guys are on the research side and the technology provider side. what is the advice from you on the future trend of generative AI, and how can we build more trustworthy AI system for the community to use? Maybe I start with Professor Meng.
Yeah, so I think it will take everyone to think about trustworthy AI, because the coverage is really broad. I mean, trustworthy AI, you need to care about, fairness, accountability, safety, transparency, ethical principles, and also respect for data rights and IPR, right? So therefore, it really takes close partnership. And I think Hong Kong has a special advantage because we're not too big. We hope to, from academia, we hope to work closely with industry and the government to really push on the forefront and showcase our abilities in really allowing our technologies to be trustworthy so that everybody can feel comfortable to use it and to reap all the benefits of AI technologies while mitigating the risks and the dangers.
Yeah, I think trustworthy is a big word, right? First of all, you make sure whatever service you use, you make sure the service provider is really a trustworthy provider, right? So use those like a brand or service you can trust. Don't just go up there and there's a big AI tools, I use it. You might have some risk there. So that's one simple advice. The second one is make sure you understand the consequence and what the service can offer, can do. Teach your team, educate them the risk involvement of using this technology. Make sure they go through certain kind of like training before you allow your people to use the technology. I think that's really important.
So to summarize, we need to be careful in designing this, even though we know the powerfulness of this system. Thank you for the valuable insights of all our panelists today, and thank you, the audience, for coming. And I'm so glad and thankful that we have a big audience coming to this panel. So thank you. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
A heartfelt thank you to all our esteemed speakers. Would Dr. Cheung and our panelists please step towards the front of the stage for a group photo? Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, everyone, for that insightful discussion in our first panel on ensuring trustworthiness in generative AI, challenges and solutions. A special thank you to our esteemed speakers for sharing your expertise and valuable insights with us today. As we conclude this session, please take a moment to complete our online survey by scanning the QR code displayed on the screen and on the back of your badge. Your responses will remain confidential and only take a few minutes. Those who complete the survey can show the completion page to our staff at the information counter in the foyer to redeem a special souvenir. We will now take a brief pause, and please note that our second panel, Unlocking Potential, the role of deep tech in smart solutions, will start at 3:15. Feel free to take this time to stretch, network, and reflect on what we've discussed. We look forward to welcoming you back shortly. Thank you.